Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about kind of what's going on with combiners. I'm not going to be all inclusive in this, as this is every combiner getting made. But I'm going to try to keep Devastators straight. I mean, I think that's important right there. And kind of see what's going on with those projects. To talk about some of the other projects that I'm looking at, that I'm interested in, that I am building. So we will talk about that. But also, if you want to make any comments, I'm thinking next week we're going to be talking about rumors, good or bad for the community, what juicy rumors are out there that you know of. I think that's a fun topic because I like rumors. I'll tell you why I dig so deep into those next week. But this week we're talking about combiners. Let's get into talking about them, have a little bit of fun, review some of the stuff we've seen in the last couple weeks, and there's 2 new Devastators coming up. First off, we have Devil Savior Troublemaker. Wait, I thought we were talking about Devastators. Just kidding. I know this is the live action movie version. I think it's $3.30 on Showz's store. And TH and reviewer code if you want to go check it out, get one of these. But it does look like it's a good option, one of the better options for this version of Devastator. So I'm just throwing that one in to throw people off. Well, I got 2 more things to throw people off. Okay, there's a Devastator. It's Blookees. All right, it's not Masterpiece. It just was news that came out this week, and I was already going to talk about combiners, and then this pops up. Now, I don't believe it actually combines. Built with Constructicons and parts, including Galaxy Defender Collection. These are small 5.5-inch chibi-style figures with 14 points articulation. So maybe it does combine. Maybe it is an actual combiner. That would be interesting. That'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see more information about this one. But still, this is something that's just breaking news. And even less information about this. This is Robosen. And this is their patent. I believe it's patent information for them to be making a Devastator themselves. Now, no one really knows anything about what's going on with this project just yet. But there are some pictures from videos of past kind of work they did 7 or 9 years ago. Let's look at that real quick. So here's a construction type vehicle rolling around before they got the license, before they were making Transformers. They were just working on something along this line. Funny that it's green and it's a construction vehicle. And then we have part of the way through a transformation. So this thing was made to transform 9 years ago or 7 years ago, something like that. And there's partially through a transformation as this thing does transform. And then boom, there it is. Now, I'm kind of thinking size-wise, how big is this going to be? If it really is combining like this, or are they going a different route? I'm curious to see more on this project also. Still, these are the 2 new Devastators this week. Let's get into what people really want when it comes to Masterpiece. So I think Fans Toys is one that most people are interested in, but it's really between Fans Toys and Xtransbots. Let's just start with looking at Fans Toys, kind of where we are going with this. These are 3 of the newer ones that are on their way. These should be coming pretty soon, relatively soon. And it seems like they're putting a lot of emphasis on getting these figures and characters out before other past projects, but it's still one of those things they want to get theirs out, be first to the market, and beat Xtransbots. And I'm doing both. And I can't say I'm doing all of the sets. I'm not collecting and keeping up with all of them. But I'm at least going to do an Xtransbots, and I'm at least going to do a Fans Toys, and I'm going to compare them in combine mode so that we can see which one truly is the best, or which one I like most. I think it's really key when you look at Fans Toys or any of these Devastators, what does the alt mode look like? The alt mode, the alternative mode, the crane mode here. This is what the combined mode is going to look like. That's why it's so important. And yeah, we have a picture, and we're going to do a side-by-side, but I'm liking most of the alt modes, but so far I'm liking the limb modes for good old Fans Toys. They look pretty good. And here, this alt mode does look good. It might even be better than what Xtransbots did, but still a little bit early to tell. It's a little early, and I'll have them side-by-side when they come in, but I'm not going to really make a judgment just yet. but look at renders and what I've seen so far. One of theirs, is it Scrapper? I forgot which one it was. One of them wasn't the greatest, and I think that good old Xtransbots beat it in alt mode, but I'm still kind of iffy in the leg mode. Here's the magical power of Photoshop and editing software and cheating and quickly getting a comparison, but I'm not really against the bot mode from Fans Toys. I think it does look pretty good. I don't think they're all going to look that great, but I think that it does look pretty good. One of the problems with Constructicons is that the original G1 toy, the bot modes didn't look great, and then the cartoon was based sort of loosely off of those poor looking toys. So now either one of these options looks good to me. So on the left is Fans Toys, on the right is Xtransbots. This is a clip from my video, and with that, I'm okay with either one. But I think where I'm at, I think Fans Toys is going to win combined mode, but I'm thinking that. I'm not saying it definitively. Now in this one, I've reversed it. Okay, on the left is Xtransbots, and on the right is Fans Toys. One of the things is that my first impression was I just love the Fans Toys one. But after weeks, I guess it's been a month since I made this video, I'm starting to see the color palette of Xtransbots matching the tune a little bit more. And I'm starting to see a little bit more cleanliness in that scoop down there on the foot. But I'm reserving all my judgments for when I have them combined side by side, and I'm going to make a decision, because one's going to go back into bot modes and one's going to stay in combined mode, and kind of that's where I'm at with this whole thing. And I'm still kind of with that, but I'm leaning closer to Fans Toys and combined. It's funny that I still don't have a really good combined mode picture of Xtransbots version. Fans Toys recently just came out with theirs, and I believe somebody did a digibash on this, which it kind of helps with the perspective on how it looks. But there it is, side by side, and I'm still leaning towards Fans Toys and combined, Xtransbots in bot. But again, I'm not making my mind up 100% just yet. And I do want to point out that I kind of feel like stability for Fans Toys also, but there's a nice comparison between the two, and there are like 47 more Devastators to get onto, so we're going to move on. I'm going to do the next three kind of in a strange way. I hope I can pull it off in editing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off in editing, but anyway, this one is another option. This is Mecha Invasion. It's called Giant Legion Heavy Builder, Mixmaster, and Scrapper set of 2. They're sold in sets of 2 for like $90. So 90 times 3, $270. You're going to have a full Devastator. It's going to be stylized, and I'm believing you can mix and match whether you put it on a leg or an arm or something along those lines. I don't think you can mix and match torso bots, but it's going to be 3 different sets. That's kind of how that goes. Again, one of my standards for whether it's going to be a good Devastator or not, or a good combiner or not, is how does the alt mode look? And the alt modes look pretty decent. They're not bad. In fact, they're more real world than we saw in the cartoon. So will it be less cartoony because it's more real world? Yes. That's why I'm saying it's stylized as a combiner. As actual vehicles, it's not stylized. It's nailing the vehicle. And that looks pretty good. Now we got Dream Star Toys. Now one thing about Dream Star Toys is that these guys really take the shiny paint to the next level. I've heard the Superion had issues. I'm not going to swear on anything because I never handled one. I actually started pre-ordering them and I backed off because it is a bit too stylized, and you know, money's a thing. I can't collect everything, but I did like the shininess of it and all that. Here's the alt mode, which looks very real world, except there's not as much metallic paint on the construction vehicles I see around here, but this is still a pretty nice looking one overall. We're waiting. Well, I'm going to show the combined modes all at once, and I think that these are competing with each other more than Xtransbots, more than Fans Toys, and MMC's in its own little world. All right, so we got 01 Studio here. I don't have prices on individual bots just yet, but this kind of gives you an idea of aesthetic in the bot mode, in the alt modes, and a bit on the stylized side. But I really think they're competing directly with Toy World's Constructor. I think that is like their goal is to be better than Constructor. I might be wrong on that, but that seems to be what they're working towards. And I think Constructor is a great Devastator in combined mode. Individual bots I wasn't really keen on so much. Alt modes weren't bad, but with this, I mean, they've had what 8 years to improve on it, and it was one of those things because 01 Studios and Zeta are connected, one way or another, and I'm sure the beef with Toy World hasn't gone away. All right, take your time. This is a lineup. Do any of these people remind you of the guy that took your purse last night? The guy in the middle? Okay, gotcha. Now, this is a joke. But anyhow, dry humor is sometimes fun. On the left is Mecha Invasion, which is Giant Legion. In the middle is a 01 Studio / Nope, already got that wrong. The middle is Dream Star Toys DSTO2. The right is 01 Studio. And trying to keep all this straight is tough, even for me, even on my screen. But there they are. These are the ones that are a little bit more stylized, a little bit less of the G1. I do think 01 Studio is going to be a little closer to G1 accurate than these other two. But there's still, the Mecha Invasion one's not too far off. The 01 Studio is going to be, the Dream Star is going to be shiny. But there's all three options right there. I mean, I just wanted to kind of put that out there so people can get an idea. I think at the end of the day, no matter how good the bot mode is, no matter how good the alt mode is, that people really want the combined mode to look great. Or to, even if it's not G1 accurate, it still needs to be visually interesting. Here's another picture of Dreamstar. Now, Dreamstar is going to have a shiny green to it, which I can't find that picture that had a good torso. I had one, but I don't. I go through thousands of pictures. I just keep the stuff I think is going to be relevant. And with that, this is a pretty good shot. Because you got their Superior on the right, and then you've got their Devi on the left. Now, I want to show MMC just briefly. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on MMC, but I do want to show their Devastator. I don't think it's a bad one, and like I've said 60 times now, the waist area seems to just be the only problematic area for me for the most part. These are 18 inches, not 21, and all of the stuff we've been talking about, aside from semi-joke Blookees in them, they're all 21-inch scale. 21-inch scale. These are 18-inch scale. 3 inches smaller. I think 3 inches makes a big difference in life. Now, I'm not in at all on MMC's offerings. Nothing against them, though. No issues with it. It's kind of like one of those things. Are you okay with parts forming, like we're going to see on the right here, Xtransbots? Are you okay with that? I'm perfectly fine with the parts forming. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not upset about it at all. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, are you okay with parts forming, Mike? And the person in the mirror says, isn't that how they did it in G1? That should be the standard. Oh, okay, yeah, it's fine. Someone else is like, well, they did it that way in G1, but that's not how it should have been. It should have been all in one. So, I mean, there's different strokes for different folks, and with that, I'm going with Xtransbots, even though I missed out on Groove, and then he went on sale for like $50, so that was pretty awesome. Anyhow, looking over here, though, I still kind of like the aesthetic better of Xtransbots and MMC when it comes to the Defensor because of the fact that it has the parts forming. Fantoys is supposed to be getting their bandit out and finishing up their Menasor 3.5 years after everyone else did theirs. Maybe 4 years after everyone else finished theirs. We went on that wild ride with Xtransbots and DX9, and now Fantoys will finish theirs. So I do want to say a couple things about this. So mid-year, June, July, August, some of that range. I don't have the exact month, but I'm sure somebody somewhere swears they know it. The thing about it is that we've seen combiner parts, 3D prints, fillers, so that you could build it. Will the same thing happen? I'm just curious. And I don't even know what the parts look like yet. And with that, I probably will not combine it and wait for a 3D print. I'm going to do that with the Fans Toys one, and I'm going to do that with Magnus. I'm still just looking at the options that are out there, but I'm excited for that aspect of the community. The ability to build a Fans Toys combiner and have your bots separate, and it's effectively having your cake and eating it too. Yum yum. Bango Toys. Bango. Cry in the Dark kind of reference that I was going to go to. Anyway, I think this is the only Masterpiece option that's out there. The Warbotron is the 15-inch or something, and they never KO oversized it. Now, the Warbotron Bruticus got KO oversized, and it still wasn't up to modern-day combiner size and scale. This one should fit in that, and Bingo Toys is the one that made, I think, the Spider Ladies, and I think they look pretty good. I'm okay with it. They're a bit on the stylized side. But here's the weird part. I'm okay with it. It's not so far out there that I can't identify the figures. And when you get the alt modes, I think the alt modes really are telling on this. The alt modes look almost like if it was a real world ship, not some space ship. Okay, it is a spaceship, but a real world spaceship. Okay, if that makes any sense. I do kind of like the way it's going to look in the alt mode, or the bot mode, the combined mode. Let's get the right mode here. At the end of the day, all I really am going to care about is combined mode, because I'm going to have this in my combined mode. I don't think we'll see 3D printed parts for something like this. Fans Toys has elevated themselves to a level that people know that if they spend, 200 hours 3D modeling something, it might not even take that long anymore. 3D modeling something, they could sell enough that it's definitely worth their time and they'll make a lot of money. I don't think people feel the same way about Bingo Toys just yet, and so I don't think we'll see 3D printed parts for this. But I might be wrong. But I do like how the combiner aspect is shaping up, which is all I really care about. That is my main focus. And so with that, I'm all in on Bingo Toys Computron. We're getting our third member of Bruticus from Magic Square, and this is an absolute godsend. The price is decent for all of these so far. I have this one on the way. The aesthetic looks amazing. Oh, funny thing, I just got in my G1 Megatron. I'll be doing a G1 Megatron KO review soon, too. Very soon. But with that, people are asking, is stuff still shipping from Shozy? Yeah, it's definitely still shipping, because I just got that in. Alt modes looking pretty good on this, but what will the combined mode look like? And I've got to tell you, the combined mode, it's going to look like the combined mode of Legends. Now, this isn't a Legends picture. It's odd, though, I haven't seen a combined mode of Magic Square's Bruticus just yet. I think that's really weird that they haven't thrown that out there. But at the end of the day, it's not a big deal, because I already have the Legends. The designs are, I'd say, 93% exactly the same. There are changes, and there's always going to be, just like what they did with both of their versions of their Optimus Prime. They changed them up a little bit. Now, there's also going to be a G1 set, so it's telling me that you got to pay extra to make it G1. That is a tactic that most people won't like. Most people want the G1 anyway, so let's give them the IDW or whatever the other stuff is, the toy. But anyhow, we're going to have both options. I'm getting this. I'm happy with it. The price for everything already is very reasonable compared to the competitors out there. So with that, there's really no competition right now in the Bruticus space. So on that note, this video is getting a little long in the tooth. I never wanted to make this a comprehensive list, because that'd be an hour-long video, but I did want to kind of showcase what's going on with Devies and a few other projects. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. But did you find this type of video helpful? And did you know about all these options? Are any of these options new to you? Because I did a lot of looking into this stuff just to keep it straight in my head, which is half the reasons I make these videos. But let me know in the comments below, like, subscribe, and Titanium Hammer out.